Hello everyone, this is Thomas Curry from the North East Wrestling Podcast, and I'm here with the Tyne Wear Wolves, which is Corbin and Kavero.
Hello.
You alright there?
So the first question is that I've got is just, what does it feel like to be back? I mean, you've had a kind of few bookings now, but...
It's kind of like, when I packed in, it was because I really wasn't enjoying it.
Oh, okay.
So it was working for the sake of working, whereas now it's coming back and maybe when I picked it up this morning, I was saying I've actually got like that nervous, excited feeling for the matches again, and actually wanting to go out and do a lot of work instead of just kind of see them through and get to the end and get paid. So it's good.
Did you lose that? Did you like? You're saying that it wasn't like you quickly stopped enjoying it. Did you just lose like the excitement and?
Personally, I don't know about you, but I ended up to begin with, like after the first like 3 or 4 years of it. It became like not a chore, but it just became one of them things that I was doing on a weekend, and I stopped enjoying it as much.
Well, for me, I love being back. To be honest, mate, it's just a case of I left because my priorities changed. I had another kid on the way, so I wanted to be around, obviously, for him growing up. Just beforehand, I knocked my knee again. I just thought to myself, fuck it, I'm just going to rest up now. And I was going to go on hiatus for a bit and then come back, but I just thought, no, I'm just going to retire.
It only took us a year of constantly writing on your wall about coming back and
badgering
you and everything.
But, it's one of those things where, I said I wanted to retire, but you never retire from wrestling. Like, it's always stuck in your head.
That's the thing, you don't quit wrestling quits you, and it takes...
Yeah.
Because you packed in, I was adamant I'd never get back in the ring, and then all these ideas that me and him had when we were working singles had come back, and it was like, well, now's the perfect time to do it.
Right.
And it's worked out. I don't know about you, for me it's worked out the best it's actually worked out so far for wrestling in terms of bookings, etc.
Yeah, it's kind of cush, like, isn't it? We're doing our route.
Aye.
It's good having that little niche of what we're doing is obviously a tag team.
Yeah.
'Cause, there's a lot of people that, I'm saying there's a lot of people who are in tag teams in the northeast, but nobody sort of embraces the fact that they're from the northeast.
Yeah.
So, just whacking the whole Tyne Wear effect into it, it just seemed like the right thing to do, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Where did the idea actually come from? If you're tagging together.
That's from you, Josh, wasn't it?
Really? At the time, the first idea came was when, probably about 2 years in, when we were both working more like most. Dave was a champion, and I was kind of coming up with all the big matches like Grado, etc., and the Cebu match, etc. And the original plan was I was going to end up getting the Northeast title, and going that way. And then me and him had the idea of, we'll do a tag team together, and the idea was going to be based on like Triple H and Austin's 2-man power trip.
Yeah.
Where you had the two, not the biggest names in the company, but you had the two main guys together. We were going to basically wear suits. We were going to make it known that we were the guys. And originally, I think the name was CK1 for Carbon Kavero one, like the aftershave, the Calvin Klein one. Where we were just going to be proper suit wearing dicks. We had our ideas about going to a mate's shop and pretending to like kick off in the shop and stuff like that for promos and all this stuff that never came to fruition, because
we were like a poor man's evolution, weren't we?
Yeah. Basically I was just two of us, where it was gonna be like we were the main focal point, which again it's something that we can work into the gimmick when we go full heel, basically saying we're the biggest draws, we're the main event wrestling Hall of Fame as you are, etc., etc.
Right.
But again, that's stuff for future down the road. So there's a lot of scope to do with the Tyne Wear Wolves, what we were going to do with the CK1 gimmick.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see, like. So, are you close friends now? Like, can you close friends now, or would you say?
Well, we talk. Obviously, he's like me. I mean, top mate on my Facebook chat because I speak to him more than I do anyone else now. But I wouldn't say that we're best mates because obviously he's a family man.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
Me, I'm 33.
So he's 33. I've just turned 25. So there's
right.
big age difference there. Without wrestling, we wouldn't. Chances are we probably wouldn't.
Would never have crossed paths.
Yeah. But because we had the wrestling, it was always the thing. I think it stemmed from when we worked the submission match for Full Tilt.
Yeah.
That was when the original idea came, and then it kind of went from there. Started talking more, and started being a bit more like not vocal, but in a bit more like talking about this could actually be a thing.
Yeah.
And then obviously both were packed in and then came back with this. So,
Aye.
but outside of wrestling, we didn't really see. Well, we only really see each other at the moment outside of wrestling when we never see each other outside of wrestling, do we?
No.
It's just we come together, do what we have to do, and then go
Well,
separate ways.
Just like a tag team, it's all online, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's where the idea came from. And,
But I didn't since we had the idea and we started getting the gear and everything together, which was before Christmas. I don't think there's been maybe more than 2 or 3 days when we haven't actually messaged each other with an idea or with a
new booking.
we've got this or we've done this or these people want or I've messaged this guy, etc. So.
Aye. Good. So I was going to say, as the team met your expectations. I mean, I know you haven't been going for long, but so far, like the idea, like if you're being together and everything, like
yeah, it's working well.
Yeah.
Going well.
Especially here because me and Dave had such a big following at Mew.
Yeah.
Main event wrestling is basically where I got all my biggest bookings from and all my biggest opportunities, and they're the ones who I'll credit for kind of making Kavero, like throughout the whole Nightmare gimmick and the Top Knot Wanker thing.
Right.
All of that came from here.
Aye.
So through these guys, these are the ones who give us the big opportunities. We have the matches like there. I mean, what's Huxley working with him? He's WWE.
Oh,
we were in a match with him. I've worked Mojo before, which is Prince. I mean, I've worked him before, but I've never been on his team, and I get that in there.
Right.
Roxy's What Culture Pro Wrestling, so it's like you're working with these guys who are really well established.
Yeah.
And I don't know about, apart from Target, which is your kind of thing, you're the one to talk about Target. We don't really get as many opportunities as from these guys and them.
Right. So the reason for you both retiring, you just kind of covered that, really, didn't you? So, is there any meaning behind the Wolves? I know you said about the Tyne Wear part, but was there any meaning behind the Wolves, or was it just a good unity for?
Wolves is very much a case of we thought of it more like a pack. Obviously,
right.
We had the whole idea of basing like a 2-man power trip of sorts, but Wolves work in packs and that's us.
Yeah.
And obviously the Tyne Wear is our stomping ground. It's our country. That's why we're always doing the Wolf Country. It's our.
Right. It's where we're from.
Yeah.
Two guys came together to watch each other's back, get each other the opportunities that we deserve, and so far it's working really
Main
well.
event wrestling, Target, places like that. That's our hunting ground. So hi.
So it's good.
Awesome. So that, like, I know you've worked as heels tonight. Did you guys work as heels a lot since you came back, or has it been mainly face?
Mainly face, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I did a single as a heel, but I thought it was going to be a one-off. It was more heel tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, I prefer heel over face anyway.
Do you?
But, mate, well, keep in mind the whole feud I had with Grado was based around a twaffle haircut. And I ended up making t-shirts off of it, the Top Knot Wanker t-shirts. I ended up getting a gimmick out of it, where it was literally not coming out to a crowd of people booing you. It's much better for me than people cheering you, honestly. And I got that off just having a haircut, which is going to get grown back eventually, so it'll come back again because I missed that gimmick. Because it was brilliant, and I can work that into this when we go. Because if we're heel, we're the cocky ones, we're the best, blah blah blah, and I think they'll tie in really well together. But don't know about you, I prefer working heel.
I am whatever I'm paid to do, to be honest.
Yeah.
Me preference. Yeah, you give us your peers, tell us what you want, and I'm there to do it.
Fair enough.
So,
I just look more heely though. Because I'm a bit bigger and because I've got the tattoos and because I've got a face that you want to slap, I just look like a heel. Yeah. Whereas you look, because you're more athletic and more clean cut, you look a little bit more face. Well, I won't go that far, but...
So this is a bit off topic, like not wrestling related, but are you into music? Like, big into music at all? Or?
Yeah. I've worked in HMV for over like 13 years, so... and,
so what kind of music are you into? Like,
primarily I'm more into sort of metal.
Metal.
Always been sort of metal based. I mean, I do like the occasional bits of hip hop. Anything really. I can listen to anything.
Yeah.
But being a dad now, the only catchy tunes I get stuck in my head is anything off CBeebies. I'm sitting there singing along to bloody Mr. Tumble or something. I'm just like, what's the matter with you, Dave?
See, for me, I'm looking at my playlist now, and they've got everything on there from like Tyler the Creator, who's a rapper, to Metallica, and it goes to Limp Bizkit, and then it goes to like David Bowie, and then Oasis, Led Zeppelin, but then the Gorillaz, weirdly enough, and then it comes all the way back around to like Puddle of Mudd. So there's like Slipknot and Stone Sour, etc. But then again, you could put, I'd quite happily sit and listen to classical music, Enter Shikari, anything really, as long as it's good music. One thing I hate is that kind of like hard house. No, seeing that, mate, New Monkey, right? I used to love New Monkey when I was a kid. So it took me from about 13 to about 17, I was the biggest chava that you ever seen. And I mean, you probably even now would look at us and go, he's wearing like a tracksuit and he's got a Fred Perry on and he's got like a little done-up Corsa. So probably is a little bit of a chava now, but I'll still listen to New Monkey. Me and my friends will play New Monkey sometimes. So really, it's just that hard house drum, that hard house like trance music I cannot stand. Apart from that, I listen out a bit.
Alright. So is you got any hobbies outside of wrestling? I mean, I know you probably don't have a lot of time, but
a lot of my time's spent with obviously working and with the kids.
I work as a energy consultant, so my time through the day is pretty much it's work, and then when I come home I'm mentally drained from it. So I'll be honest, I spend most of my time sleeping. That's probably my hobby, is like watching stuff on Netflix. That is I'm banging into Always Sunny in Philadelphia at the moment, American Horror Story, and I watch stuff on TV. So I don't know if you could call that a hobby, of watching series and being lazy and eating food.
I suppose watching series is a hobby.
Yeah.
So, if I can get out and go for a little bit of a run or something, I've gone to the gym or stuff like that. I really do like drawing.
Seriously?
Yeah, drawing and stuff. I'm not fantastic at it, but
well,
got a few paintings and stuff out there.
Yeah. And Dave actually designed everything for the Wolves, trunks, t-shirts, anything like that comes from Dave.
Right.
Because he's got more of an artistic flair than me. I might message him and say, oh, what about this? Because I can see it, but I could never put it on paper. And then he'll put it together, and we'll go, what if you change that a little bit, change that, belt that, and that's how you designed the gear this time, and we sent it to Vic Stitch, who made it.
Right.
So yeah.
Shout out to Vic Stitch.
Yeah, Vic Stitch. Really cool trousers and pants and knees and everything, so cheers for making me look at least half decent.
Right, so how long has you been wrestling for each?
I've lost count. It's probably around about 15 years now.
Right.
Off and on, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
took a bit of a break in between when I knocked my knee and almost broke my neck, but
good enough reason to take a break, isn't it? I started well late. I didn't start till I was 21. I had my first match in the April after I turned 21 in the January. But before that I was training for MMA, so kickboxing, boxing, BJJ, Greco wrestling, shoot fighting, judo, all that jazz. But then when Dan, because I used to work with Dan Fitch at at EE, he said, I'm putting on a wrestling show, and I said, how can I get into it? And then it kind of went from there. Dropped all the MMA and the cage fighting and everything, and went, I want to do wrestling. So I only really started doing that because I couldn't find wrestling.
That's why I was like with boxing, because it seemed so hard to find wrestling, but then I found out.
Five years ago there was nothing. Now there's so many schools and opportunities for people to actually get into it. There probably was a lot around there, I just didn't know where I was looking. I remember actually I'd messaged when I was living in Heaton when I was 19. I'd messaged Jimmy Blade off of on Facebook. Who Jimmy Blade? I don't know if you ever come across him. He's like a northeast guy. Probably he's Assassin's former tag partner when there were weapons of destruction or instruments of destruction. IOD is what they were called, and they were and they were like the top guys. And it was when it was IWF. And then what was the other one? Who had the Full Tilt got their ring now? was Jimmy. It was what's his chops who had the lock up down the other arena.
CRW.
CRW.
Yeah.
It was them, and I seen that thing, and I messaged them, how do I get into it, and I got no reply, and I thought he's probably not seen it,
Aye.
and it turned out we had seen it and ignored
He
us.
just ignored you,
He just went, no, fuck him. But then Fitch got us into it, I started training and went from there.
So where was the original training, like both of you? So where did you say that was?
My original one was full tilt wrestling,
Full
and
tilt.
that was because a lot of lads on the show who were ex-IWF had started full tilt, so Big Chris, Mickey Finn, Adam Christ, etc., all of them guys. So I started going along on the Sunday, and then I had my first pot match. My first match was I cornered Adam against Kavero, which is like baptism by fire, really. Just get yourself in there and try it. And then it went from there, and then I think I had my first one about a month and a half after I'd started training, because I picked it up
Quite fast.
relatively quick enough to have a, like what you call a trainee match on a trainee show, and I went from there, really.
Right. And what about you?
Mine was IWF. I used to do a load of backyard beforehand, and it was a combination. I used to do kickboxing, and my mate, John at the time, he was just like, I found this training school in Gateshead. Do you fancy going along? And I was like, aye, why not? Because pretty much I used to just do what, like anything he wanted to do, I was following us. Obviously, we're like best mates and that.
No.
And I was like, I'll go along, and we just turned up to this training, and at Gateshead Leisure Centre, and it's pretty much started. The rest is history, really.
Right.
He knocked his arm. Doing something, I can't remember what it was. He broke his arm and never really came back. And I just sort of stuck at it because wrestling wasn't really my main focus at that point. But I was more like for kickboxing and that sort of side of things, like the martial arts side of things. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But I following into actually going to wrestling training, that I was like, this is kind of fun, this.
Aye.
And kind of just got hooked on it from there.
Aye. Who would... What did you say?
Sorry, I was just going to say, I was mainly going to IWF, and it was Brian and Stephen Petty, who was known as Judgmental back in the day.
Stefan Petty, who, funny enough, went to be on in, what was it,
Heaven, isn't it?
Heaven, and was doing Night Owls when me, Fitch and Brian went down to promote the big Northern Bash show 2 years ago.
Aye.
So mingling with the stars and that, you know.
Aye. Who would you say that the best person is that you've trained with since you started?
Trained with Rampage Brown, for sure. He's probably he's the best big man in Britain.
Yeah.
Well, aside from people like Mastiff, who's probably like what you would class as a super heavyweight.
Yeah.
Perfect Latch Samuels, Shaw Samuels, etc.
Yeah.
Jackie Polo, he's probably, you'd class him as a big guy. Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey. Probably I'd say Rampage is the best one I've trained with, because he's so perfect at everything he does. He knows what to do, when to do it, why to do it, what to do between what you're doing.
Right.
And AJ as well, Anderson.
And I've trained with both of them.
Screwface knows his stuff, definitely.
Awesome. What about you, Dave?
I couldn't pick one, to be honest.
No.
You learn something from everybody.
That's true.
I mean, you just pick and choose bits that you think that's going to work for yourself, and take it from there. Obviously, went down to Manchester years ago now, where we were invited to go into a Future Shock training with AJ Styles, and he just went through the basics.
Yeah.
And it's just like you can never like fully learn the basics. You just go over them again and again and again.
Aye.
And just pick little bits up, like how obviously you get sent off the ropes, what you're going to sell.
Your headlock's different to my headlock.
Oh, massively, yeah.
Your the way you hit the ropes and bounce off's very different the way I do it, and it's the same. There's no formula of how to do it, because your fundamentals are your fundamentals. You'll get people like me and Huxley was just talking about, with people like Lance Storm, who he's probably the most technically sound I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But he's probably the person who goes and does an arm wringer 50,000 times and gets bored of it halfway through, but keeps doing it until it's perfect.
Yeah.
And keeps going and keeps going and keeps going and keeps going until he knows that is the best kind of arm wringer that he can do, and then he moved on to the next one.
Aye. What are you most proud of in wrestling? If you could pick one.
Oh, aye. Didn't know that.
Question.
Maybe a hard one thing.
It's weird for me because I kind of accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish in wrestling within the first 2 years.
Okay.
My 4 goals were win a title, which I did with Joe Rage in EPW.
Right.
We're one-time tag team champions. We never lost the belt. We were stripped of them.
Right.
So we've still got that one. There was wrestle a WWE guy, which I did in Sabu.
Right.
Wrestle in my hometown, which I did with Sabu. Wrestle a TNA guy.
Yeah.
No, Ashington.
Ashington.
Wrestled Sabu. Me versus Adam Quaice versus Sabu in Ashington.
Right.
Wrestled against the TNA guy in Grado, and then basically worked in front of my mum.
Nice.
And tonight was the first time my sister, because she's up from where she lives in Falmouth,
Oh,
just
okay.
Cornwall. It's the first time she ever seen us wrestle tonight, so that was pretty cool.
Awesome. What about you?
Probably every belt that I've won, because it's very much a case of it's an honour.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a proper cliche to say that, but to have a promotion think, right, we want to put the belt on you because we think you are worthy of carrying the promotion as such. It's just like you've got to be humbled and grateful for like those opportunities.
Aye.
And I would just really put it down to that. I mean, just being considered the pinnacle for that promotion. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I can understand that. Like, couldn't imagine how that feels. Like, awesome. So, who or what has been your biggest influence as you started wrestling?
Mine was the Hardys. Obviously, I got into it through a mate wrestling, but it was during the Attitude Era where I really started following it, and when the Hardys came out, I was just like, fucking good, that.
Aye.
But that was the kind of stuff I liked. Just obviously, they were doing stuff that no one else was doing at the time. I mean, you look back at it now and it looks like shit compared to what people are pulling out now. And God knows what they're going to be pulling out in the next 10 years.
Aye.
I mean, they'd stick a TLC match on fucking SmackDown nowadays, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas at the time when the Hardys, Edge and Christian, the Dudleys did that, it was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Exactly.
Triangle ladder match at Mania 2000 was just ridiculous. Like, just the most dangerous thing you ever seen, and that was obviously the Hardys and tag teams, and you're looking going, these guys are mental.
Aye.
Yeah.
Then you go, I want to be that mental.
Yeah, they just had that look, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. I know what you mean. See, mine was, I don't know, because the first guy I ever seen on TV was Kane, and I thought he was mint because he was just massive. It was when he had the mask on and he was like the one-arm suit. It was when it was first Kane when he came in. And he was just destroying everybody and just murdering people because that's what he did. And I thought that was cool. But then I don't wrestle anything like Kane. When I was wrestling like the Top Knot Wanker side of things, it was kind of a mix of like Orton, Lesnar. They're the guys now. Now I'm doing a lot of the same stuff as Marty Scurll.
Right.
Who I think he's probably the best British wrestler for me at the moment. Ring of Honor TV champion. Just he's whole the villain gimmick, like Party Marty. I've told you this before. Party Marty, I thought fucking sucked. I hated that gimmick. But it was, well, no, actually, I didn't hate the gimmick. I just hated him because when he was on TNA, I was like, he's doing his job. But when he's got the villain gimmick, I think it's brilliant. It's just perfect. Hence why I do the thing of like, I'm the cleverest. Like the spot I did with Huxley the night where I was like, I'm the cleverest, and stuff like that. I like it. I just think he's really entertaining.
Awesome. What do you think's been the biggest change in the British wrestling scene since you started?
So many promotions. A number of promotions for me now.
Yeah, it used to be so hard to find a promotion, and there's so many now. So, but then it's not necessarily a good thing.
I was going to say it's a double.
Everyone thinks it can play the booker.
It's double-edged sword, mate.
A very small amount of people who can actually run a promotion.
Yeah.
Do it right.
It's a double-edged sword though, because you've got on one hand we're sitting going, this is brilliant. I'm gonna get another book and I'm gonna get more money. Then you come in and people are going, oh, well, I went to a wrestling show last night, I can't be bothered with it again. So you might get a crowd of 150 one day, and then you come next one, there's 15 people there. And don't get us wrong, sometimes working for a smaller crowd is more fun and more rewarding. But when you're expecting a couple hundred out there and you see loads of empty seats, it can be a bit daunting.
I can imagine that being a bit, I don't know what the word is. But, you know,
I know, yeah.
Bring it down.
Yeah.
It's in a good place at the moment, though, wrestling, because it went, obviously, during the Attitude Era, everything was fucking wrestling related. You'd walk into a bloody shop, everything, you could, all the bloody merchandise, and that was there. Everyone knew who The Rock was, who Austin was, and then it died.
Yeah.
Like, going into the early 21st century sort of thing, it's just like...
PG era, weren't it? It kind of fell a death.
It just absolutely died on its arse. In Britain, it died on its arse. I don't know if anything... Maybe it had something to do with the recession as well. But it's good to see that it's back on the up. And obviously, it's in Britain, it's obviously making a statement because you've got the WWE coming over and making the UK tournaments, and God knows where else they're going to be going with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if it's enough to get them interested in that territory, then they're doing something right.
Well, they've said that though. They've said it used to be that you would go to Mexico or you'd go to Japan for your talent. It's the UK. Because the guys who are out there, I mean, Skill's not involved in it, but he's one. Pete Dunne. The Bruiserweight gimmick's fantastic. The whole Trent Seven and what's his chops with the Tash?
Tyler Bate.
Him who that whole the British strong style thing is. I mean, who is it? Is it OTT who's got the match? Which is no, is it them or is it someone else? British strong style against the club. The Elite. To me, I'm sorry, but that there was probably the biggest match outside of WWE in the last 10 years. And it's at a British indie show that's going to be run in something like a leisure centre or a club or a pub or something. When you look at it and you go, oh, you've got WrestleMania on one hand, but then you've got this promotion. I can't remember the life of us who it is. Maybe it's one of the big ones, which I like OTT or Future Shock or something like that.
I think it's OTT.
It's OTT. It's Scrappermania or whatever it's called. Their big one.
Something like that.
That there is honestly the biggest match that is outside of WWE. It's bigger than Okada and Omega. It's bigger than anything because these are the guys who they're our peers, but they're also not our peers because they're guys coming from Japan. The Bucks are like the best tag team in the world. Omega's the best singles worker in the world against the three of the best British wrestlers in the world. It's insane. And that's happening in England in the scene that we're in, which for me is mental. There's no other sport, sorry to go off topic, but there's no other sport where the level between the top and technically like Sunday League for football, kind of putting them like into that kind of thing. Sunday League wrestling, e.g. what we're doing, as opposed to like the top. Like I never once thought I would ever be in the ring with Sabu. I can remember DDT and my sister threw me bed with a this God's honest truth with a towel and a belt wrapped down on my head because my mum and dad were away and we were staying in the house playing on wrestling, and I went, I'm Sabu, put a towel on my head, put a belt on, DDT, I brought the bed, shit myself, thought I was going to get in trouble, and then maybe 10 years later I'm getting smacked over the head with a wet floor sign by him, and then I'm hitting him with a kendo stick. Never thought that would have happened. Mental.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's the joy of wrestling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But the point I'm making is you'd never see people on a Sunday League team, like you never have Long Benton FC going down and playing Real Madrid All-Stars, or former people who left Real Madrid to go and play back on the way back down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think it's amazing.
It is. It's amazing to see how much British wrestling's came up in the past few years. Like
ICW. The whole thing with ICW, people will slate them in that whole 1-4 thing. I don't like. Does me head in, but they're fantastic. They've brought British wrestling back to the forefront of it. That documentary with Fight Club was mint. And the guys they've got there, man, like I remember watching Grado going, I'm wrestling him, Jester, who I get on really well with. Alright, mate. He's pretty canny. And I seen him at the show for the first time then, and I'm working him, so it's like it's nuts. It's just there's no way to describe it without like sounding like a mark, but it is what it is. Wrestling's cool.
Yeah.
It's finally cool again.
It is.
Do you agree with that? There was a spell where it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, you like wrestling? You nerd. And it kind of become a bit of a taboo. It's a guilty pleasure for a lot of people. Now it's very much in the forefront of, I am a wrestling fan. I will I'll proudly walk down this street with me WWE top on or me knack hoodie or me t-shirts on or whatever, which is great.
Yeah, you always felt like you were in limbo when it come to saying that you were a sort of wrestling fan, because you know you've got your comic book fans, and then you had sort of, I suppose to a point, football fans who were like nerds like of football, but then you had your wrestling one, and you didn't really fit in with either. Like group. It's like, oh, you're one of those. And it's like, right, I'll just sit with myself then.
So, what are some of your favourite matches you've had? Like, let's say individually first.
Individually, I'm always going to go to the three-way I had with Shady Natris and Chris Sabin at Target if it's the High Octane Championship.
Right.
I don't remember much of the match because I got a concussion in it, but it was just the fact that having that match it was great. It was just something, you know, something I've always wanted to do is wrestle Chris Sabin, and I got to do it.
Right.
I've got the three. One of them's when Grado cut me hair. The Top Knot versus Bumbag match at the Northern Bash was brilliant because it was like it was a feud that wasn't meant to be a feud that turned into a feud. Yeah. It was only meant to be one match, and then we had the tag match. Then it kind of culminated in this. Get me hair cut off was like mental because I really enjoyed that hair. I really liked having that hair. Then I got it cut off. I had to grow it again. That was a chore. So that was good. Obviously Sabu at home against it's my hometown. All my friends, my family's there against Sabu, who's just ex-WWE, so he's the biggest guy I've ever wrestled. And then me, Adam was in, who's the guy who's got us started in it. And then the third one was probably the Jester match, because he was a guy who took the time to speak to us in an ICW show, to the point, and I can remember this, I was talking to him, someone was talking to him, trying to talk to him, and he went, "Shut up, I'm talking to this lad." So he was speaking to me, and then it went from there. So it's like, he's a mint bloke, honestly. I didn't really speak to him as much as I'd like to, but if I ever see him at a show or whatever, I always make time to say hello to him, because he's just a nice guy.
That's nice of a nice guy. Like, both favourite matches together. Now you haven't had many, but what's been your favourite match since you came back?
Return one, I'd say. Our debut. Yeah. When we came back, we beat who was it? I can't even remember.
Christ and Assassin.
Yeah, it was Christ and Assassin, wasn't it? Yeah. Sorry, lads. When we beat them, that's probably the best one so far, because it was the one where we got the biggest reaction. We got to bring out the new finish. It was the first time we came out together, with very little kind of work, and very little chemistry together, and it just clicked. So it worked. It worked well. I
enjoyed that match. Yeah. Did you see the same?
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's still early days. And we've got plenty of matches ahead of us.
From what we've been told about that's coming, there's some very big names, big enjoyable matches to come in.
And a lot of learning. Yeah. From them,
Yeah. So we can't fault it anywhere.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Watch this space.
Prepare for disappointment.
Favourite opponents over the years?
Him for one. When I wrestle, I've only worked you once. Submission match for Full Tilt, piece of piss to do. Dead easy, worked out really well. Took the big bumps when we had to. Both kind of slammed each other around a bit.
Right.
Good. And then Brian, who's Assassin, and Adam Christ. Because again, I remember a 6-man match where it was in with Brian and Assassin. Yeah. With Assassin and Adam, and we planned nothing, and we just knew what was happening. I knew that when I turned my back, when I felt hands on my shoulders, it was Adam with a back crack, and I knew what to do for Brian when he got a hold of us, that he wanted to put the contract on and stuff like that. So I knew what was coming, and it worked. I did a tour for IPW where I worked Christ night after night after night, and it was just easy, because after the third night we did the same match with different finish, but it was like autopilot, and it was just so easy. And even when one of us fucked up, we still knew how to get back to where we needed to be. So it was dead easy. It was good fun.
What about you? Favourite opponents?
Probably just have to go back a few years, but it was with Liam Thompson.
Bad boy.
Bad boy. we worked each other a few times during like there was WZ and BCW doing sort of like a talent exchange of sorts.
Aye.
And or we was having the Scotland versus England sort of feuds. And every time I worked with Liam, it was always a good match.
Aye.
We never had a bad one. It just seemed sometimes you just have the chemistry with somebody and have a good match, like regardless of what you put in there, it just seems to gel and work right.
Yeah.
But to pick, like, again, I said it earlier, you can't really pick one favourite person. But yeah, you couldn't really pick a favourite person to say that you had a best match with, because again, you're just learning off everyone. You could even a shit match, you could say, right, well, I know what to do from this here, I can learn from that.
Yeah.
But I'd say Liam was one of my favourite people to work with.
Right, well, last question is, has wrestling affected any relationships? Could positive or negative, anything? Since you began.
I've met some of my best friends through it. Obviously, yeah, I met Dave, who I'm tag teaming with, who we've got the squad we made a lot of wrestling, a lot of money with.
Yep.
Christ, one of my really good friends. Brian's one of my really good friends as well.
Right.
So I've done that. Apart from losing relationships, no, because I don't like people. And I don't make any effort with people, so it doesn't really bother us. If they went, oh, don't like us, okay, bye. Because that never really asked us. Right. So either way, I'm fine.
Yeah, I'm quite fortunate. Wallace supports us regardless what I do, and even half the time I haven't told her what fucking shows I've got booked in. She's like, "Oh, you're away, are you?" And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, just to plug for his last quickly there. Yeah. Dial Slice.
Dial Slice,
high protein range coming on strong.
But she's always behind us with stuff like that. So I mean, it probably winds her up sometimes, but no, she's always there for us. But as for friends in wrestling, that's pretty much all I've got, because outside of wrestling, like Josh says, I'm a fucking social recluse. I just my focus is my family and my work, and on the weekends when I get to wrestle, and enjoy the banter with the lads and that.
Aye.
And that's what wrestling, one of the key things that I enjoy about wrestling is the banter, the backstage banter. If you haven't got the banter backstage, then it's shit.
It's the camaraderie and the brotherhood with the lads, like the whole thing of driving across the country for 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours like we do, a lot to be. You're driving more than you're actually working, but it's the crack you have there and the crack that you have on the way back that's good. So
if you don't have that fucking crack, then
no. They've got a good locker room, full tilt. Mew's got the best locker room I've been in.
Yeah,
definitely.
It seemed awesome. Like, this is the first time I've been backstage. But,
yeah,
like, it's been good. Like,
yeah.
So that was my last question. So I just want to thank you both for coming on. It means a lot.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Is there anything you want to plug? Shows, social media, anything?
Yeah, you've got, well, obviously the pages. So I'm just bringing them up there because I can't actually remember mine. So you've got the Tyne Wear Wolves on Facebook, Nightmare Kavero, which is under Alex Kavero on Facebook as well.
Yep.
Got Dave's page. What's yours?
Haven't a clue.
You've got at Alex Kavero on Twitter, at Tyne Wear Wolves on Twitter as well.
Right.
Dave Carlin will be under that.
Yeah, and then there. So there's plenty over there. Or you can just write a letter if you want as well. That's fine.
Carrier pigeon, that'll be alright. Upcoming shows, Maximum Pro Wrestling on March 24th. If you just go over the Maximum Pro Wrestling Facebook page, you can find details on that. Exciting Wrestling Entertainment, April 8th. Again, just go onto their Facebook page. Right. Target Wrestling, April 9th. Yeah, we've got loads coming up, so
awesome.
Just get yourself along to them Facebook pages and check them out.
All the shows will be on the pages as well, so if you need them.
You need to check them. Check all the upcoming shows. They be on yours
as
well.
They post on mine, on Dave's, on the Wolves page as well. So there's no excuse not to come and give us money for wrestling.
Right, well, awesome. Thank you for coming on. I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I'll see you later. Bye. Alright guys, before you go, I just want to say a massive thank you to Dan Fitch and Michael Brown of Main Event Wrestling. They both were awesome with me last night, and they really helped us get everything I wanted to get. Dan Fitch, I'm very happy that he let us come on his show and let us record with two of his biggest stars. That really helped really meant a lot. And Michael Brown, otherwise known as Sexual Chocolate, he really helped us on the night too, getting everything I needed to get. So thank you to both of you guys and Main Event Wrestling as a whole, and obviously thank you to Corbin and Kavero who came on the podcast today. Really helped a lot, and I think we got a good interview out of them. Tell us what you think, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all later. Bye.